Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the RuneQuest rules by Chaosium Incorporated. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Strong language, mature scenes, and rune magics are on the way. As this is our Glorantha, we will remind listeners that it may vary from the one you already know and love. And now, on to the show. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am your game master this evening, Michael Diamond. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back in the world of Glorantha and back for another episode of Adventures in Dragon Pass. And so we want to thank you for listening and joining us, and especially want to thank our Patreon supporters for backing and supporting the show and requesting more RuneQuest. And so your direct feedback is super important to us because it helps us plot out what we should do next. And so if you'd like to have a voice in those options, you can join us at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. You can also do something for absolutely free that is super helpful to really any of your creative friends, and that is share their work and talk about it. Because the more people who see it, the more people can enjoy it, right? So we are going to get to player and character introductions, which will begin to my right.
Hi, this is Heather. I play Lysana. I keep wanting to say of Cliffshield, but that's not exactly it anymore. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Pronouns are she, her. And at this point, she is kind of, I don't know, how do we put it? Kind of deciding who lives and who dies, I guess, in some ways. So starting to take a very different, but I think for her, very realistic approach to what could possibly be happening.
We'll see how it develops as this episode rolls along. Next to Lysana.
This is Jake playing Varghast, Initiate of Orlanth, and Shah the Rainbow Worm. And we have a conundrum to deal with.
Indeed, you do. And so next to Varghast.
Hi, this is James, and I'll be playing Finn, previously the Chaos Artist of Hillstead, and now, just a rambling old tumbleweed, I guess.
Yeah, maybe discordant rather than chaos, as in Glorantha. Chaos has a very specific connotation.
Oh, yeah, I suppose discordant, yes. Discordant would be a better term.
That's an amazing plug for our Discord server, which you can join as well. So make sure you check out our social media imprints for our Discord server, where we are occasionally discordant. Next to Finn.
Hi, this is Morgan, and I play Alara. Our pronouns are she, her, and I am a chosen one of Marangor, goddess of earthquakes and quake beasts. She stirs within me, and the earth remembers what you do. And I got a horse last episode, and and her name, because it's a her, because it's my horse. Her name is Sunfall.
I love that. That's a great name. And last but certainly not least.
Hi, this is Rena. My pronouns are they, them, and I play Faisal, any and all pronouns, Initiate of Humacht and of Heller. And I did the honorable thing last time. Not necessarily happy about it, but I'm convinced it was the right thing to do.
I look forward to the debate around your frame of mind there, being convinced that it was the right thing to do. I look forward to it. It should be a hootenanny. So we're going to raise the curtain and part the veil tonight with a look in on our friend Finn, who was not with us last episode, but that's okay because he had things to do. So the group left Boldhome, and absentmindedly so, Finn, you forgot to keep track of where they were going, and an hour or two went by, and you were still making some purchases around Boldhome and ensuring that you had everything that you needed. You found some, we'll just say, reasonably priced, I think musical instruments is probably the best thing that I could term them as. You found a vendor who sold these sort of pancake-like leather bags, which one could blow very hard into to expand. And then after they're expanded, you could push on them, and the sound they created was frankly like flatulence.
Well, those were worth waiting around for. Absolutely.
You manage then thereafter to pick up on the trail on the road. And as was mentioned last episode, as this is a royal road that takes us back towards Johnstown, it is actually a road which is paved. And so that is something that you are not as familiar with paved roads, but it makes the travel so much easier and simple.
This is fantastic. It's a wonder the Empire isn't everywhere.
Yeah, about that. You don't manage to catch up with them for a little while. And the reason why is because you're doing important things like ensuring that any potential berries that could be useful are picked along the way. You end up having lunch with members of another tribe who stop and offer you food. And so, of course, you're by hospitality required to stop and have a drink with them. You impart a few tales from the Vale. They share back with you stories of some war stories that they heard. And then they hear this. They tell you of this tale about a messenger that's being sent from Boldholm forward back up towards Johnstown and likely beyond. And they heard about this from, well, they can't really exactly explain who. But they heard the tale and they think that it's important enough to tell you about it because this runner has to go to furthest. Now, you're not necessarily super familiar with where furthest is, but you do know that it's way closer to Tarsh and thus the Lunar Tarsh. That section, it's sort of northwest of where you're at. And the runner sounds pretty important. And they're looking for him just to make sure he gets along on his way. And that's the story that they tell you. They wish you a good day and send you on your way with some honey mead.
Blessings upon you and easy travels, friends.
You arrive back at the campsite. You find the campsite. Of course you do, because simply enough, these are your friends. There's no way you could possibly lose track of them long term.
No.
You come upon them late at night. You choose to press on. And when you do, you see that they've collected some body, and you see Alara sort of wandering off with a horse back towards the camp. But it looks like there's some hubbub going on.
Finn's gonna hunker down in the shadows somewhere and just keep an eye open and watch. Like an owl.
Okay. You hunker down. You watch like an owl.
What are they doing?
Well, there's an argument. And they're talking back and forth about whether or not it's right to heal this person. And Faisal seems very staunchly pro help this person. And understandably so, Lysana makes the point that this person is a lunar soldier. And that if given the opportunity, there's no way they'd probably help us. And are we going to continue to help every sick puppy that we find along the way that happens to be a opposing force occupier? Like, you know, where are we doing here? All reasonable questions. And then Faisal pulls a few arrows out of their back, like this soldier's back, and then sort of begins to bind their wounds. And that's when you see Alara run off and grab this horse and pet it and call it George.
At the moment when he is the least obtrusive, Finn just kind of works himself into the hubbub of the camp.
It's night now, so there's not a ton of people moving around except for your fellow friends who are either trying to get back to sleep or trying to steady a horse, and I have to ask Vargast and Lysana, what are the two of you doing? I mean, it looks like Faisal has sort of set up shop to watch over this lunar soldier after having bound their wounds. Like, what's the play for the two of you?
Well, the soldier's not going to wake up anytime soon. So I'm far more interested in these scrolls.
Okay.
At this point, Faisal has the soldier. They've made a decision. they've followed through with it, fine. Let them take care of for as long as this lunar lasts. Let them have it. And honestly, at this point, it would be, I think I'll just go and maybe sit close to Vargast and at least look like I'm kind of interested in whatever these scrolls are. Actually, I wouldn't take much. She really is. It takes a minute or two, but it'll grab her interest like pretty quickly once, as long as Vargast doesn't shoo her away.
No. I'm more than happy to have other people assist.
Finn takes a seat next to the fire.
Where the hell have you been?
Boy, I had a dilly of a day. Honeymead?
No, I'm actually on guard.
Oh.
Technically, Faisal's on guard.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He takes a small swig, offers it to Vargast again, and then to Lysana.
No, thank you. Hey, do you know what these symbols are?
Well, let me take a look. Hang on here. Finn takes the scroll and literally does turns it upside down briefly, right side up, looks at it sideways. What would I need to roll in order to see if I do understand any of this?
Well, it's definitely a skill roll. But that being said, it's really the language barrier that you're going to have an issue with. So the language, when it comes to that, is going to be, for those of you at home, would be Peloran. So it's written in Peloran. Essentially, it's written in, not that you would know this, James, not Finn would know this, but it is written in a tongue most used by Lunars. So it's a relatively simple alphabet, but still not something you're familiar with.
Well, Vargast, I do recognize this symbol here, and that is the symbol for, and at that moment, Finn uses his armpit to deflate one of the bags that he bought earlier in the longest way possible so that it just goes on an uncomfortably long time, and he doesn't break character at all.
It's a good 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It's an extended period of time, and it does seem strange.
But I'm no expert. And you may want a second opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I do.
Faisal, I hear you've had an eventful day. Mead?
No, thank you. Bit busy.
I heard. What have you been up to? Do tell.
The right thing.
Okay, then. Well, if it's the right thing, then everyone should be fine, right?
You can immediately tell Finn that not everything is fine.
Okay, listen. There seems to be... The air is angry soup right now. And,
There is some disagreement on exactly what we should do.
whether or not we should have killed the Lunar.
Or allowed him to die on his own.
Pincushion. Well, having had an arrow or two in me in my time, first of all, that really is awful. Having them pulled out, also awful. I don't know what the healing is like, but I know the natural healing itches like a bastard. I'm sad that there's still a Lunar walking around, but I'm also glad that we didn't lower ourselves to their standards by just butchering one, or standing by and letting him callously die. If I want a Lunar dead, I want it at the end of my sword, looking him in the eye, so that I can capture his last breath. He holds up the deflated sack from under his arm. In one of these, he tucks it into his waistband. But again, I'm no expert. I got some berries.
Good for you.
Oh, for everybody here. They're actually quite good, and I don't think any of them are the unfortunate kind that I picked last time. The little green spot is what is a real tip-off. Don't eat those.
I'll let you go first, thank you.
I look a bit surprised that Finn agreed with me because I wasn't expecting any of them to. Just give a slight nod over to him.
But he nods back. We gotta really even up the score, though, guys. I mean, so far, we've done more good for the Lunar Army by ourselves than we have done ill.
Speak for yourself.
I don't know about that. We killed several of their soldiers.
Hell, I alone have probably set our people back at least 2 weeks.
Faisal, you notice one of the caravan drivers moves out of his tent and stretches. It's probably still a couple hours before sunrise. And he walks over towards the group and looks at you, Vargas, and says, what's going on?
We stumbled across a courier.
Oh.
Wounded.
Oh.
There's just a slight problem. It's a lunar courier.
Man's face sort of twists into a glower. Well, what's the problem?
Well, we don't want to just leave him behind to die in the road. So we healed him, or bound his wounds.
He may still not make it. It remains to be seen.
He looks confused. What about rebellion?
Yeah, we can rebel. We can fight them. But we can do it with honor.
So we're picking and choosing.
We always pick and choose.
Would you prefer we be mindless butchers?
He turns to you. Where'd you come from?
I'm from everywhere, man.
I don't wish to be a butcher either, but I certainly don't wish to help them.
Well, we can take their, what they were carrying.
What was it?
Of scrolls, sealed. Somebody really wanted them. They put 2 arrows in that man's back.
But they didn't take the scrolls.
I don't think I think he got away from them.
The caravan driver looks over at you, Faisal. Well, you're fair. Perhaps questioning him when he wakes.
I can do that. We have a few hours left yet before sunrise. No need to be moving on just yet. He may awaken before then.
Faisal, you'd also know that, certainly that you know people in Johnstown that likely read whatever this is written in.
If no one among us can interpret these, we'll be able to find someone in Johnstown, perhaps even at one of the temples.
By any chance, are there any pictures or anything, or is it just text?
No, it's just the scroll case, which has some engravings on it and is sealed. Or these you can tell that it's, I shouldn't say case. They said that there were scrolls in there, so you would be able to see the paper. But like you've been able to sort of like look down the barrel of the scroll to see that there's letters in there, but you can't really make out the words. You'd have to unravel the thing. We've got a man in here that might speak or might be able to read some of them.
Well, that is interesting. I wonder what these scrolls would tell us.
It's a good question. I think it can wait till morning.
Yes.
He turns around and heads back towards the lean-to tent that they put up to sleep for another few hours. Ilara, you'd love to go back to sleep, but you have a new horse.
Yep, I am currently washing the blood off this horse. That's what I'm doing. And, I'm talking softly to it, and it's been through a thing, so I'm, that can be traumatic. Just letting it know that it's gonna be all right, and leaning my head against it. Hopefully Arcad is not getting jealous here, because
Arcad is certainly interested in your newfound friend.
So I am going to, kneel down to our cat and just put my head against him and just let him know that he's still my favorite shadow cat, and that we can all be friends. And he might not understand me because I don't have speaking I can't speak to beast yet. And so, I'm sure the horse is probably like, oh my gosh, what is this?
Again, picture a shadow cat which is essentially like a mix between, like a mountain lion and like a, they're bigger. They're
big.
Not enormous. Our cat's not enormous. Yeah, you can't ride it.
Can't ride it. Yeah.
I know. You could maybe find some spell work to make our cat bigger, and then you could ride him like.
But yeah, so I am trying to make sure that the horse Sunfall's not freaking out, and our cat is pleasantly loved and knows that he's loved and appreciated, and that we're all going to be friends and get along.
Yeah, I'm going to roll a die and just sort of get an idea for maybe how our cat's feeling. And that seems fair. I mean, yeah, so the cat sits at sort of the outside of camp as you wash the horse, and it watches you. And there's a clear look of betrayal in its eyes. Have you ever been judged? Have you ever been judged by a cat? Of course you have. Because you're a human being,
yes.
You've been judged by a cat.
Oh, yeah. I am. Yeah. Yes.
Our cat is sitting on the throne of judgment now, looking down its nose at you as you wash this horse. And it wonders what it did in a previous lifetime to deserve something like this. And then it probably lopes off to look for food.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to have to get some special meat or something for our cat so he knows that he's loved, and give him extra pets and snuggle up with him. Because I can't really, I could snuggle with Sunfall. I've seen, in real life, I've seen, YouTube shorts about that. And so, but, yeah, I, watch Sunfall, and I'm watching our cat go off into the dark and just sigh. Just can't make anybody happy.
Seemingly not. A few hours pass, and the sun, in all its glory, begins to arrive. There is that pre-dawn era where some of the grazing animals begin to stand up. The flatulence from Finn begins to waft over the campsite, and everyone knows that it's time to wake. Our cat is nestled up close to the fire now to try to steal as much warmth as possible, especially with all the humans who have gone to sleep. And for you, Faisal, your charge stirs.
Put my hand on my sword hilt. Good morning.
He looks up to you with a moment of astonishment, and then sort of closes his eyes.
Had a rough night.
Yeah. One could say that. He coughs. Blood comes out.
Who put those arrows in you that I had to take out of you?
I don't know. They didn't exactly call out their formal names before shooting me in the back.
Why were they shooting at you to begin with?
He moves just a little bit. You haven't bound him, so he's, it's not like he's a prisoner, right?
Right.
And so he wearily works to move his back up against one of the wagon wheels so that he can use it to sort of sit up. I assume they were probably locals. The people here are unruly.
No other reason. Couldn't be carrying anything anyone would want.
Well, he gets pretty quiet. He doesn't answer you.
That's what I thought. Sort of loomed slightly. Where were you headed? What's your purpose here?
What business of it is yours?
Well, considering I just saved your life, and there are people out there who very much would want to see that not happen. Be nice to know what we're getting ourselves into. Think I've earned that?
Winces. Oh, 7 mothers. He grabs his gut. I don't think you're getting into anything. I'll be on my way as quickly as I can.
On your way to where?
Johnstown. Happy?
Big smile. I'm always happy.
Yes, well, he stands up to his height, which, is slightly above average. I didn't hear anyone last episode say that they had taken his sword. And so he does have his lunar sword on his belt, just so we're clear. Not that I'm pointing it out for any specific reason, but the players did not say that they were binding him, and they didn't say they were taking anything off of his body. They simply robbed, effectively, his horse. Well, for your part in ensuring that I can still draw breath today, you have my thanks.
That's nice. But, I don't think you'll be going anywhere just yet. It's dangerous out there.
Indeed it is. He taps his sword belt. A lot harder to shoot me in the back when it's daylight. Now, I had a horse.
Had being the operative word.
Where did you find me? Maybe the horse is there. He turns back towards the road to the south.
On the road. Just a little bit down there.
Well then. You didn't see the horse?
I saw the horse.
He gives you a look. Can you tell me where it is?
Not at this moment. I have no idea, which is true.
I see. Okay. He steps away. So, Finn, because you're likely having taken your rest for a few hours somewhere, we'll just say unconventional. The tree that you're in, sort of stretched across one of the many thick boughs, you hear something that startles you. You hear scratching, like tiny clawed feet.
Fucking squirrels.
You reflexively flinch. But no squirrels this time. At least no squirrels there this time.
Looks at what is doing the scratch.
It is a bird, which is scratching with its sort of little bird feet, and it is meting out apportionment of food to its young. It's a pleasant way to wake up. It gives you an opportunity to stretch and to, get a feel for the morning before it begins to bombard you with need.
Finn shares his berries with the bird.
Oh, well, you make fast friends. As you're sharing those berries, though, you do see that the man who was woefully harmed before is beginning to make his way around this caravan space. He is seemingly healthy enough to walk.
Faisal's keeping pace with him.
I can't imagine why.
Which way are they headed?
It looks like he's searching for something. You're not really sure what.
From Finn's vantage point, can he see the horse that also mysteriously appeared?
Oh yeah.
All right.
100%. You have a good vantage point. You can definitely see the horse.
Gotcha. Finn scrambles, slides down the tree, lands on the ground with a small thud. I say, friend. You seem to be lost.
He turns and, nah, I'm not lost. I'm just looking for my horse. Here, he puts a thumb and forefinger to his mouth, and you hear a real sharp whistle.
What color was it?
It's a deep chestnut.
Wait, was it a chestnut or a horse?
It's a horse, man.
A horseman? Like a centaur? That's amazing. No wonder you're looking for it.
First of all, if a centaur would probably be a chaos beast in this world, but that's neither here nor there. He keeps calling for this horse.
Well, I'm just saying, friend, it seems like a fairly good trade. 2 arrow holes filled for 4 legs. I mean, even if you have to walk out of here, you're walking out of here, right? As Finn gestures towards the edge of the camp. You get me? The sun is shining. You're still on your feet.
Yes, Yelm's in the sky. We all know this. He stops for a second and you see him put his hand on his chest. And you hear him mutter like a few very simple words. And when he does, his body seems to glow with this yellow and like red light for just a second. And he sort of shakes his head. Oh, that's so much better. You can see him appear to move a little bit easier now. Oh, there it is. He stares across the camp and you see the horse that Alara had dutifully cleaned and prepared is there tied up next to one of the wagons.
Oh,
And,
I think you're mistaken. That's not a chestnut. That's a horse.
He sort of shakes you off and like begins moving towards the horse.
Keeps a half a stride behind him.
Okay.
So you're certain that's your horse, friend?
Yes, that's my horse. So Alara, you hear someone say that. You hear someone say, yes, that's my horse. That's what you wake up to.
Finn throws a look back at Faisal, and when he looks back, that smile that he's been using when he's talking to the guy completely disappears. Not exactly Kubrick, but there's a very stony kind of expression there when he looks at the back of this gentleman. And he raises an eyebrow. Then he looks back at the guy. Well, I don't know. She seems pretty enamored with that horse. I mean, it's all clean and everything. And I mean, who takes the time to wash someone else's horse?
What are you talking about?
You ever washed someone else's horse?
No.
Neither has anyone else. Clearly, I don't think that's your horse. Look, it even has a little bow in its hair. Did your horse have a little bow in its hair?
Where did this bow come from?
That bow's been there as long as I've known that horse. Listen, mister, I think you're confused. Maybe that healing from those arrows has gotten you turned around. Edge of camp is that way.
So the rest of the camp is beginning to wake. People are beginning to roll out from their lean-tos, and so about 7 or maybe 8 more people are beginning to mill about now. And you hear, those of you who are not directly here yet, hear his voice pick up a little bit of authority, and he says, "Those are my saddlebags. This is my horse."
Are you saying that horse stole your saddlebags? Okay, listen, you are making absolutely no sense here, sir. And frankly, I don't know if I'd like a madman staying in this camp. But I tell you what, if you think those saddlebags are yours, we'll give you fair trade in coin for them. How about that?
He does not answer you, James. He seems really frustrated with you continuing to talk to him. He opens up the saddlebags and then immediately turns around. And you see this just sharpness come to his eyes. And he looks across the way, which is probably not very far as Faisal was keeping up with him. He looks at you, Faisal, and says, "Someone stole from my saddlebags. Which one of you did it?"
What's missing, friend?
Wasn't me.
Papers, specifically that I was taking to Johnstown.
Oh. Well, if we find any papers, we can definitely tell us whereabouts you were delivering them to, and we can make sure they get there. I mean, it would make no sense for you looking for them in one place, us looking for them in another.
You can watch him continue to get just angrier by the moment.
So you're saying every word that I'm saying is enraging him at this point?
You're not sure if it's every word, but you can tell that he's getting quite enraged.
Gotcha.
He pulls the reins loose of where they're tied up at. What you doing, Alara? You've now awoken. And this, of course, is a free play for anyone who's here. No one has to be asleep unless they want to be.
Yeah, I've woken up and I've probably been... Can I hear the conversation between Finn and whatever this guy's name is?
How far would you sleep from the horse?
Oh, not very far. I mean, I'd probably be near the fire, but want to make sure Sunfall is feeling okay and comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like there's some sort of commotion going on over near your horse.
I think with all that conversation, I think we'd all wake up to that.
Yeah, I go over. I untie the horse and...
Like, he's got the reins that he's sort of beginning to untie the horse.
Yeah, hey, Mr. What's your horse's name?
This horse?
Yeah. I mean, this is Sunfall, but, I mean, what's your horse's name?
This Sunfall? What are you talking about?
What is your horse's name?
Lysana has followed behind, probably munching on a piece of fruit, just watching to see how this plays out.
This is Kana. Do you know how I know?
How do you know?
He lifts up the saddlebags, like one side of them, and you see this moon symbol emblazoned on the skin of the horse.
Oh. I just got like the market. Okay, so I propose a test. So we're gonna go out right out here to the field because and we're both gonna call the horse's name, and whoever the horse comes to, that's who the horse belongs to. What do you think?
I think this is my horse.
Okay.
And I think you've tried to steal it.
No, I was just helping.
Yes. You've helped pull it from the side of the road. Wonderful.
I didn't put a bow in your face when you showed up at the camp. And you should be appreciative of that.
I should be appreciative and let you steal my horse?
Well, that you're still alive.
Some of us just really didn't need another body or another mouth to feed, another body to take our resources. You're lucky that she cared for your horse and that they cared for your body. Because if it was up to others, we wouldn't have bothered. So, how about a little bit more gratitude and a little less attitude, and we can discuss how to move forward. And she bites the apple again.
No.
Okay, take your horse.
I'm not leaving without the missives. They were taken from the pack.
Oh, those weren't in the pack when we found the horse. So, I don't know what to tell you. Vargas, did you see anything in the pack when we saved... What's your name?
I'm Voster of Furthest.
Boast of Furthest. Okay.
Vostor. He sort of enunciates the word Voster. Or can your Soderite tongue not say that?
You don't talk about my Soderite tongue. Because it's been in places you probably haven't been. Well, lovely to meet you. I am Alara. Of a place that doesn't exist anymore because of your people. So, there was nothing in your pack when we so graciously saved your life.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So, Vargas, she tried to pull you into this conversation. Are you ignoring her?
Yes.
Okay, I love that for you. Okay.
All right, so take your horse and go to Furthest. We'll be not right by... Well, actually, we're going to Johnstown.
Finn takes the reins of the horse and leads it over to the guy.
I mean, yeah, he's there's like 3 people with hands on the reins of this horse now.
Come on. Let go, everyone. He offers a hand to help the guy up on the horse.
He looks at you a little quizzically. Maybe perhaps unconvinced by your decision to be, He takes a big breath of air in, and you see him stubbornly get on the horse himself. With some effort.
Finn takes the bridle.
He sort of secures himself in the saddle.
Begins leading the horse towards the edge of the camp.
He He takes the reins, like as you're getting away from the camp, and sort of with the reins and with his thighs sort of leads the horse into a space where it breaks free from your grasp. He gets back out on the road. You're close enough. I don't know if Faisal, if you're continuing to shadow him on the way out or not.
On the way out, yes.
He looks at the camp and then looks at you and says, "You've done the Seven Mothers a great service today.
Don't remind me.
A people should know when they're beaten." He kicks the horse and he gets on his way.
When he gets to Johnstown, he's going to get the other Lunars, and they're going to come back, and they're going to tear this camp apart until they find those scrolls.
Yes, they will.
Wasn't there someone who could possibly read them? We get them read now, then we destroy them.
Fair enough.
So the camp collects. They begin hitching wagons. Food is being made. Our cat suddenly is very distant. With all the commotion, he moves into a space near some rocks, somewhat far away. Doesn't like all the clamor and all the noise.
And he's still pissed at Ronaldo.
100%. Absolutely mad at Alara for what she's chosen to do.
Well, the horse is gone, so I mean, he's still my best boy.
Sure. Oh, sure. He is now. Sure. It's okay. As we all know, you have a love of horses. It took you in the moment.
I did. And now it's gone.
Yeah. For now. You talk with one of the caravan drivers who is sent over towards you. His name is... He comes over and stands next to you, Vargas, and sees you've got this clutch of paper. And he says, I can read New Peloran if that's what you need.
Yes. Yes, that would be greatly appreciated.
I'm going to have to break the seal to do it, though.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I'll take full responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finn holds his hand up. How big is the scroll case?
It's not a scroll case, so it's a bunch of scrolls. They're probably about 7 inches wide, give or take.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big wax seal, and you can't see what the writing is until you actually get it open.
Have at it.
There are a couple of sheafs of paper here that are covering it to sort of keep it bound together and hopefully intact. And he breaks the wax seal and begins to sort of roll out the text. It definitely appears strange. None of the characters or significant markings on it remind you of your own language. But you read it all the same. He begins to glean over it and he says, This talks about the movement of certain troop requirements. It has to do with the war. But they're using some kind of code here. There's a part of this message that's a mystery. It's as if they've written it in a jumbled form of Peloran. None of these characters here make sense. Perhaps Lankarmai Sage could decipher something like this?
Right.
We should definitely leave.
Yeah.
He hands you back the scrolls.
Can we copy down the portion that needs deciphering, keep it on our person, destroy the rest?
I don't have any spare paper, or ink for that matter. I would suggest you keep the original copy on you, just hidden away. Once you get to Johnstown, get to a sage and fast.
All right, I'll take the scroll and put it somewhere.
Okay. I'm going to ask, where are you putting it?
I will put it underneath my armor.
Okay. Should I fold the paper up and stick it up underneath the new armor?
Yeah.
Definitely safe. Okay. The camp gets ready to break. It's probably about 8-ish or so. Is anyone doing anything before you get started for the day? You figure it's going to be about a half-day journey based on pacing to Johnstown.
I'm probably going to do my daily prayer before we leave to Marincor. I'll I'll probably hunt down a rabbit to sacrifice, since there's probably not a whole lot of other things that are bigger nearby. So I'll do that before we leave to ensure that safe travels. May she give me the power that I need to be her fury here on this plane.
Okay. Fun times.
Mm-hmm.
You seek to be invigorated by the fire beneath the earth.
I do. I'll take the blood and I'll wipe it on my face and probably lick it too. Yeah.
Okay. You come back painted up with blood. You know, I gotta tell you, Lysana, your compatriot Lara continues to paint herself with blood, and every time she does, somebody usually gets in trouble or dies.
That's who she is.
Don't judge my cult.
Completed your ministrations for the morning?
Yes, my daily affirmations to Marincor. Long may she reign.
Well, for the warmth that she gives us, I thank her. But I'm also concerned that every time you go out and come back like that, people die. I understand that that she requires dedication and enthusiasm, but sometimes I question whether or not it is right to bring her into the circle every time.
Do you not pray to Nalda every day?
But see, there is a slight difference. For Arnalda grounds us and brings life. And goodness knows we could use a bit more of that, considering how close to death we have been. I just would rather not meet and look in those eyes again. Not for a good long while.
Oh, I understand.
My words otherwise over the last evening or so.
I understand. I felt your anger at the healing of Vostor. And I too was angry. But I understand, Faisal. But the earth giveth and the earth taketh away.
The camp breaks, provided there's no other need items from the players, and you're going to get set to move. It is uneasy as you go, because now people are looking not only behind themselves and the way you've come, because this would-be assassin was never found, and now you look ahead and wonder what waits for you in Johnstown, which we're going to get a chance to see next time. So I want to thank my players for their work tonight at playing their roles. I had an awful lot of fun. I hope all of our listeners did as well. And Johnstown is going to be a hoot, and it'll be a wonderful welcome home for Faisal, I'm sure. So thank you, and good night.